They told you, be good, be kind, be open. That if you're honest, if you show your heart, if you care deeply and love softly, you'll be the one she chooses. So you tried. You lowered your guard. You sent thoughtful texts. You waited patiently. You listened to her every word. You offered loyalty like it was enough to win love. And yet, she left. No explanation, no closure, just distance. You sit in silence, wondering if kindness isn't enough anymore. Wondering if maybe you're the one who's broken. But it's not you. It's not even her. It's nature. Nature never promised comfort. It promised polarity. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Women are not attracted to the man who makes her feel safe. They are drawn, almost biologically pulled, toward the man who feels like a storm with a center. Not chaotic, not cruel, but dangerous in his presence. Not the kind of danger that destroys, but the kind that withstands destruction without falling apart. A man who doesn't chase, who doesn't beg, who doesn't explain, because he doesn't need to. She doesn't desire emotional availability. She tests it. She leans into your softness, not to appreciate it, but to see if there's steel underneath, if there's something deeper than pleasantries and politeness. Because deep down, what she's asking is simple. Can you hold me without losing yourself? This isn't about manipulation. It's not about games. It's evolutionary. It's primal. A search for the one who doesn't react to her emotions, but who can contain them, like a dam holds back a roaring river. She doesn't push to push you away. She pushes to see if you fall. And when you do, she walks away, not out of cruelty, but because you failed the test you didn't even know you were taking. Nietzsche said, "The weak are always forced to lie." But the man she remembers, the man who lives rent-free in her mind, is the one who doesn't need to lie. The one who stands still in the fire. The one who knows exactly who he is, even if she never understands him. That stillness, that's the danger. She feels it before she understands it. That chill in her spine when he doesn't text back. That ache in her chest when he says nothing at all. But it's not the silence that stings her. It's what the silence represents. Because most men rush to fill it. They over-explain, over-share, over-perform. They believe love is earned through access, like points on a scoreboard. But the man she craves doesn't give her everything. He gives her space. Not to push her away, but to let her feel the weight of who he is without ever having to prove it. That stillness behind his eyes. It doesn't chase. It doesn't explain. It doesn't try to make her feel better. And that's what wrecks her. Because he's not withholding love out of cruelty. He's simply not performing for approval. He's whole, with or without her. She throws storms at him. Silent treatments, emotional whirlwinds, hot and cold games. And while most men panic, he stays rooted. Not because he's disconnected, but because he's disciplined. That's the test. Can you stand still when she tries to shake you? This is what Nietzsche meant when he said, "The great moments of life come when we rebaptize our badness as our strength." Most men fear being misunderstood. They fear being seen as cold or distant, so they rush in to correct the perception. They bleed vulnerability too quickly. They think it's connection, but what it feels like is instability. Because unfiltered vulnerability without structure feels like chaos, and chaos in a man feels unsafe. But the dangerous man? He has chaos too. He just keeps it leashed. He's been to the edge, walked through fire, and returned intact. He's not trying to be her savior. He's not trying to be her therapist. He's her mirror, the one who reflects everything without flinching. And that is what magnetizes her. Not comfort, not softness, but polarity. the contrast between her emotional tides and his emotional grounding. She doesn't stay awake dreaming of a man who always listens. She dreams of the one who could destroy her, but doesn't. That man, the one with shadows in his past, fire in his eyes and calm in his soul, that's the one she never forgets. Not because he made her feel safe, but because he made her feel awake. He doesn't follow her around the party. He doesn't text her back in seconds. He doesn't offer his entire story over dinner just to be understood. And still, she can't stop thinking about him. Why? Because there's something heavy about a man who doesn't try to be chosen. Something unforgettable about a man who moves through the world like he already knows who he is. He doesn't explain himself to strangers. He doesn't seek validation from women. He doesn't audition for love. He simply exists, and that presence alone pulls her in. That's what Nietzsche saw long before dating apps and self-help gurus. The higher man is distinguished from the lower by his fearlessness and his refusal to conform. Most men today are trained to be agreeable, to avoid conflict, to keep things easy, to be emotionally available at all times. But what she feels isn't your openness, it's your edge. She wants to sense that there's more to you than what you're showing. She wants to feel that what you reveal is a choice, not a performance. Because mystery is a form of power. And the dangerous man doesn't just have mystery, he embodies it. He speaks less, but says more. He reveals less, but holds deeper truths. He's not trying to be seen, he's simply not hiding. And that paradox is what haunts her. She leans in, not because he asked her to, but because she wants to know more. But he's not trying to be known. He's not trying to impress. He lives in a frame that was built before she arrived, and that's what pulls her in, because she doesn't fantasize about the man who needs her. She's drawn to the man who chooses her, without needing her to complete him. That's why most good men fade from her memory. They gave her access before she even asked. They made her feel safe, but never made her feel tension. And without tension, there is no attraction. She doesn't chase what she understands. She doesn't desire what she controls. She craves the pull, that unmistakable gravity of a man who could walk away at any moment, and mean it. Because the man who can walk away, that man holds all the power. Not because he threatens to leave, but because he's not afraid to. And deep down, she respects that more than anything. She doesn't remember the one who waited politely. She remembers the one who let her walk away and didn't look back. Not out of spite, not out of ego, but because he never placed his identity in her hands to begin with. That's what separates the dangerous man from the good man. The good man asks for love. The dangerous man commands presence. And the reason women can't forget him? Because he didn't give her everything. He made her earn his truth. He didn't lay his soul bare on the first date like an offering. He protected it like it was sacred, not to play games, but because it is sacred. You see, she doesn't want to be your reason for living. She wants to be drawn into a life that was already full before she arrived. And the dangerous man, he doesn't orbit her. She enters his orbit. He doesn't post vague quotes for attention. He doesn't rush to respond when she withdraws. He watches. He waits. And he chooses his moment. Because everything he does is deliberate. There's a quiet power in a man who doesn't chase, a depth in a man who doesn't explain, a storm beneath the calm that she can feel, even when he says nothing at all. That's the danger she craves. Not violence, not drama, but the danger of a man who will not break. A man who's sovereign. She pulls back, expecting collapse. Instead, he stands still, silent, certain, unshaken, and something ancient awakens in her. Not fear, not excitement, but respect, because she finally sees it. He doesn't withhold out of manipulation. He withholds because he's whole. He doesn't offer himself just to be liked. He offers what is earned. And that tension, the space between what she knows and what she feels, that's where desire lives. You want to be unforgettable? Don't give her everything. Give her something real, but make her meet you in the fire to find it. Because a man who can walk away without fear, who can sit in silence without breaking, who can watch her leave without begging her to stay, that man doesn't just make her feel loved, he makes her feel awake. And no woman ever forgets the man who woke her up.